Greetings, YouTube. For you unfamiliar with it, this is a toilet. Specifically, this is my toilet. But I don't want this toilet anymore. We want to put a new toilet in. And so we're going to do that today. And to further that effort, we have a new toilet, which is on my porch. We also have this kit, which is supposed to help installing the new toilet easier. Because sometimes getting the bolts to line up when you're dropping a new toilet onto the union between the floor and the drain system is difficult. I know I've pulled this toilet before in an effort to clean a clog once, and getting it back in place was not easy. So this kit's supposed to solve that problem. In addition, I have some plastic putty knives because cleaning up the wax ring that's on there is nasty, and I do not want to get my putty knives that dirty. So I'm going to buy cheap ones and just throw them away when I'm finished. And also we have this wooden spacer, which I did not install. It was there when I moved into the house, between the tank and the wall. So I'm going to have to take that out of the house as well, because the new one is not going to need it. So that's what my Saturday morning is going to be, yanking this unit out of the place, and then hopefully, very simply, without any difficulty, putting the new one in. I'm being profoundly optimistic. Alright, now you'll see there is no toilet. I still have to remove that board, and I'm not, this is just straight, just straight Phillips heads. So I'm hoping, I think that's it, just those two. Boy, this is a hack job, man. I don't know who did this, but it's a hack job. It's just ugly as all get out. And when you have the toilet out and you can really see it. That's my next step. And that, is a drain. Isn't that exciting? Interestingly, just a few minutes ago, my mother-in-law downstairs flushed the toilet. Sounds very strange when the drain is open. And not really thrilling footage here, but the wooden bar that was on the wall is now gone, and the wall has now been cleaned, so it doesn't look that bad. They got the two small holes in there, and I'm not worried about that right now. Mostly I'm concerned with getting a toilet to cover up that hole. Alright, we have the ring in place, the wax ring, and we have this kit that we've got. So everything appears to be now in position. So now I'm going to bring the bowl in, and we're going to try to line the bowl up, make the fine tuning, because I'm not 100% sure if those bolts are exactly where I want them yet. And then it's seating it and bolting it to the floor. Alright, we now have the bowl fully set. The bolts have been tied in with plastic nuts, requiring no tools, and have caps on top so that they're all nice and clean and neat. One of the features that we really liked about this particular unit, see how large that radius is, that loop? The last toilet had a very tight radius, and it's one of the reasons that we had clogging issues, is it was such a tight radius that nothing could move. So this one has a large radius, so waste should be able to flow more freely, at least we hope. Next is going to be putting the tank in place, which is right there, and attaching it, and then hooking up the water supply, which is currently sitting right there, which I just loosened up with a set of channel locks. And so far I've only had to use one of the two putty knives I bought, so I've got a spare disposable putty knife. Woohoo! Always find a use for that. And we also have an additional foam flange, which we didn't need, which was kind of nice, so I'm sure I could find a use for that. You know me, I find all kinds of interesting uses for all kinds of things. The tank, alright, the tank is in place but not fastened. You look in there and see that shiny, large bolt with the slot in the center? Those are the two fasteners which are going to hold the tank in place. What's interesting is they provide you with a breakaway tool. So this is what it looks like after you've installed, and this is what it looks like before you install. So once you've screwed this in place, this snaps off, and this gives you a large triangular shape to hold on to screw, which is very comfortable. And what's interesting is that this makes it easier both because it allows you to get into a tight location, because that is a tight location down there, but it also means that you cannot over tighten it because it's going to snap off. And once it snaps off, you can't put any more pressure on it. So that's essentially, a force gauge, a built-in force gauge, a brake, which is kind of cool. It's a very clever invention. I'm quite impressed by that fact. Is this American Standard on this one? Yeah, American Standard. So, kudos to American Standard. Well, here we have the tank is now filling up for the very first time. Never used this before. As you can see, this is a dual flush design. So one side is a gallon and the other side is 1.6 gallons, whether you're moving liquid or solid wastes. And now the last thing we have to do, I guess, is put the lid on. You want to give it a try, dear? Thank you. Here we go.
This tank is tiny.
There we go, folks. That is a completed toilet. Would you like the honors, dear? Give it a flush. Yay! It appears to work.
Do we know which side is which? That's what happens if I flush this side.
I think it goes up further.
So pull this down water?
Don't know. I never used the toilet, dear.
Well, because it's not pulling any water down. Thank you for listening to our discussion.
Right. Give it a try.
Well, I want to wait for it to finish.
Okay.
There's water seeping out here.
Alright, well, I got a minor leak. I'll go address that. I shall return. Funny story! You know how I mentioned a little while ago that we had an extra flange, we didn't know where it went? Guess what? I found where it went! It went down there! Between the tank and the bowl! So I had attached a tank to a bowl without a gasket. So, guess what? It leaked a lot. Now it's not leaking a lot. So we now have a functioning toilet. Isn't that lovely?
Is it not?
Did I not push it hard enough?
Let's give it a bit.
It just flushed a second ago. Alright, I didn't hit the button hard enough.
Yeah, hold it a second longer.
But there you go, folks. We've now installed the toilet, and it appears to be working. Woohoo! I'll get back to you in 6 months to see if it still is. Oh yeah, and it's got the spiffy doesn't slam seats, which, I happen to really appreciate. There's nothing more annoying than hearing clank when someone's done with the toilet.